David Menzies for Rebel News, standing outside the headquarters for the Toronto Transit Commission. And folks, if you can imagine, with Halloween just around the corner, the Brain Trust here at the TTC has decided to cancel its Halloween Fest. And what would the reasons be for the cancellation? Well, if you can believe it, safety and inclusion? Hey, as the immortal Count Floyd might say,
you're gonna be scared right out of your pants, or dresses, or whatever you wear. Let's take a look at the film.
Now, by way of background, Halloween Fest is an annual event the TTC has held for many years. It takes place at its GHOST station downtown. This is a long abandoned station. It's typically used by film crews when they're shooting a movie that needs a subway scene. But I was recently leaked a memo by Bruce McGregor, the TTC's deputy CEO. And here is what McGregor states in that memo. Quote, after careful consideration and several planning discussions with the planning team, we've made the difficult decision not to move forward with Halloween Fest this year. The decision was made due to a combination of factors that meant we could not be confident that Halloween Fest would be safe and inclusive this year for both attendees as well as volunteers who run the event, end quote. Safe and inclusive? What the hell does that even mean? Well, I reached out to TTC spokesman Stuart Green, and he told me that the issue is that the station is only accessible by a narrow and steep staircase. In other words, it would be hard to navigate for those with mobility issues. And I can tell you by surfing the TTC's website, the TTC is all about making its transit system safe and diverse and accessible. This includes the TTC celebrating the following: Indigenous People and Communities Month, Women's History Month, Black, Indigenous, and Racialized Artists Month, the Year of the Dragon, and Black History Month. But as far as celebrating Halloween, well, sorry, that is now off the rails. But let's think about this so-called inclusion angle. How is canceling Halloween Fest inclusive? It's not inclusive. In fact, it's the precise opposite. It is exclusive. And secondly, I really wonder if those people with mobility issues wanted Halloween Fest canceled because they couldn't safely navigate the staircase, whereas I'm guessing 99% of the attendees could. I don't think this was their doing. I think this was the wokesters who comprise the TTC executive board making this decision. Again, falling back on that unholy trinity of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And here's another factor. There's always been people with mobility issues, and forever this Halloween Fest has been run. Why is it suddenly this year it needs to be canceled because of those concerns for people with mobility issues? It just doesn't make sense.
Oh! Woo, woo! I bet you're good and scared, huh?
But you know what, folks? In the Department of Silver Linings, sort of, the TTC is no safe space these days for its riders. There have been numerous assaults and even homicides on TTC vehicles. So when you think about it, Halloween Fest, well, that's every day, all year long in Olivia Chow's Toronto of 2025. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, I know you love it when Rebel News brings you the other side of the story, but the fact is we need your help. Unlike the mainstream media, we do not get a single nickel from the Mark Carney Liberals, nor would we accept it if it was ever offered. But here's where you come in. Can you do me a favor? Can you go to rebelfieldreports.com? That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation.